Commissioner's Corner, also known as Live at 525. And I am Martine LaRocque-Gulick. I am a Burlington School Commissioner from Ward 4. And I am here today to introduce another new board member. Today we're going to be speaking with Saja Almagali. She is a brand new school board member this year, and we're thrilled to have her. Last month you may remember that I had another new board member, Lucia Compriello, here. So we're kind of going through the list and introducing folks one at a time. And we're just really happy that you're here with us. And I do want to remind folks that this is a call-in show. You can call in and ask a question, and I'll make sure to pick up the phone. The number is 802-862-3966. 802-862-3966. So we're going to start with some questions for Saja. And the first one, if you would be so kind to just tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Saja Almagali, and I am 21 years old, currently a student at the University of Vermont. I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. I am originally from Iraq, Baghdad. I have 6 sisters and 2 brothers. My mom and my siblings moved to Turkey in 2013 in order to apply for immigration to come to the U.S. And in 2017, we moved here, Burlington to be specific. I am currently a student at UVM. I am majoring in biology, health, and society, hopefully going to medical school after graduation. My siblings and one of my siblings and one of my sister live in Germany. We had to split when we moved to Turkey. Everybody else lives here. I have 2 sisters in Burlington High School and my brother who just graduated from Burlington High School. And I graduated from Burlington High School in 2020, and I am senior now at UVM. I also volunteer at UVM Medical Center, and that's it.
Those are the biggies. So you're a rising senior at UVM. Next year you'll be a senior.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I personally just want to say thank you so much for stepping up and taking on this role. This is so important.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, I think we've all learned that democracy doesn't just happen, and it's something that we all need to engage in. And I'm so thankful, and I know the whole board is so thankful that at your young age and at this busy time of your life, you stepped up to be on the school board. So,
Thank you.
So much gratitude. Thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you and following your journey, because I think you're going to have a very interesting life and lots of successes. So yeah, it's great. So Saja, thank you for that brief overview of your life and your family. That is super helpful. Tell us a little bit about why you wanted to run for school board.
Yeah, for sure. As I mentioned before, I am a graduate student from Burlington High School, and when we came to the U.S. the first time, Burlington High School was the only option for my family and my siblings. So I and 4 of my siblings went to Burlington High School, and just the community really means a lot to me. And when I went to Burlington High School, I saw and experienced a lot of things that I wanted and hoped to change, and I always had passion to give back to the community that welcomed me and my family when we moved in. So I thought it was a great time and great position for me to give back to the community. And also, I was the only one who was running for Ward 8, so if it wasn't me, no one else would run for that position. So I wanted to step up and represent Ward 8. So
thank you for stepping up and getting in the arena.
Yes.
That's so important. So I think I remember you mentioning something at one point about when you first got here, the services for folks who spoke Arabic were lacking. Do I remember you saying that? And
Yeah.
that you may have been a little bit instrumental in getting some assistance with that. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So when my family moved here, my mom didn't really speak a lot of English, and I basically was the only one who knew a little bit of English to like navigate my way and help my family. And so when we started Burlington High School, it was just, we didn't have a lot of help to like tell us about the system and everything, especially like the different system and the different education here and in Iraq. And just we felt that we weren't, and I myself wasn't prepared enough to start school right away without really like help and assistant, just new language, new community, and that nervous and like frustration of not really knowing where to go and do things. And in the school there is not a lot of Arabic students, so it wasn't really like a language translator wasn't available all the time for my mom or me or someone else. So it was really hard to like get involved, especially my mom, who really didn't know anything. Like I was doing all my classes and doing all the other like things that I need to do in school without my mom knowing. And during like parents conference meetings, my mom wasn't like in the school just because it's the lack of the language. Or like when I graduated and my other siblings started, I was the one who's translating for my mom, and I was the one who's stepping up and like helping. And I just, even though it worked out, I just didn't think it was like fair enough to me to tell my mom that my brother was suspended or my brother has bad grades or something like that. So it was just a little bit of frustration of really not getting my family involved. And not only my family, and I'm pretty sure that's a lot with the new immigrants, with the new students and their families who probably experienced the same frustration and had the same issues.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point that the school district is interacting with you and giving you support, hopefully, and providing you with resources, but your support network, which is your family and maybe your friends, also, especially parents who don't speak the language, really need that support, multilingual liaisons and other resources that can really help them become part of the community and really engage in their children's lives. So did you feel that you saw an improvement or some change over time with support systems or multilingual liaisons? Or I know that's something that recently the district's really been working on.
Yeah, well, during my time, I saw a little bit, but it wasn't like enough to say, yeah, that's what we wanted, And when I graduated, I still had 3 of my siblings, and one of them was my brother, who was closer to graduation, and he really didn't have all of his graduation requirements met, and he didn't know about them, and my mom didn't know that, and it was like a lot of hard communication and misunderstanding between the school and my mom. So my brother was in the middle, like not knowing what to do, and they helped him a little bit. My mom got the help she wanted, but it wasn't like directly school to my mom. It was like school to me, to him, to my mom. It wasn't like direct communication with the family. And definitely right now there's improvements, but before I don't think it was enough to say, yeah, that's what we want.
That it was smooth.
Yeah.
Well, so that it'll be interesting. This may be some area or an area of work that you can really sort of look into and see if there's been progress and sort of keep an eye on. I know that there is Parent University is something that we've had here in Burlington, and I was able to attend a few of the graduations, and they were just absolutely amazing. Do you recall, were your parents involved in that at all, or no?
No,
okay.
I graduated during COVID, so I graduated in a car.
Yeah.
So, everything was different. It wasn't a lot of options, and my brother graduated a year after me, which was still during the pandemic. They had graduation, but it wasn't same.
Right.
I still have two sisters, one junior, one sophomore, and hopefully when it's time to graduate, my mom will be involved in their graduation, be able to come and understand, especially my sister's an honors student, so I want my mom to know that
Absolutely.
everybody's doing well in school.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that story, and that is something that can inform some of our work and the work of the district for sure. What excites you most about some of the current work that we're doing as a school board and as a district? Obviously, there's one big one that's kind of taking up a lot of our attention, but yeah, can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. The most exciting thing is that we're making changes. We're working with problems and finding a way to fix them and fill in where there is a lot of issues. And besides just making changes, we're here to improve the community itself. We're not only working as an individual person, we're working all together as a community, which really excites me because I'm really into community work and seeing the community get together to solve problems, like especially with what we had during the pandemic and school and all of that. And also having the experience as a student to be able to give back to the community from student perspective rather, from someone who just graduated and still in the school system and I would rather call myself experienced to help and fix the issues that we need to fix.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Saja, it looks like we have another visitor who's just showing up. It looks like Achilles is here. Welcome, Achilles. Thank you. Achilles Lakosu is another one of our new board members. Here he is. It's nice to have you. As they say in the biz, better late than never. I have heard that before. It's wonderful to have you, Achilles. We have been hearing some great updates from Saja and some information from her. So I will ask you what I've asked her, which is, by the way, hello, are you ready to go?
Yeah, of course.
Great. Could you just give us sort of a little bit of a brief bio about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your family, just to start?
Sure.
Yeah.
My family is from Benin in Africa. I moved here when I was around 4 years old. We just decided to move to the States, and I've lived here all my life. I am an avid member of the community, and I did a lot growing up, a bunch of sports and theater just growing up, and just grew a lot of connections. And these last 4 years, I was over across the lake at SUNY Plattsburgh studying psychology, and I'm back home now, going to UVM in the fall for grad school.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think I said last month when I was on this program with Lucia that I remember you from high school, and I think I said something like, yeah, Achilles was everywhere. Everywhere you looked, there he was. At the school plays, at the musicals, at the concerts, at the sports. So yeah, lots of energy and, like you said, a ton of engagement, which is awesome. So I'll ask the same question that I asked Saja. What made you run for school board? And I'll tie that in with another question. What excites you most about the work that we're currently doing?
I think it's really crucial to have young voices and young voices of color involved in situations and conversations that will benefit the kids that are closer to age to us. I think it's really important to have our insight not be the main insight, but to be a supportive kind of background voice that would help lead and make decisions that would benefit all the students of our district. And I think that the time is now for us to get involved.
Yeah, and from my perspective personally, I mean, I would just add to that and just say, I actually think your voices are critical. You know, a lot of us are older and we're white and we've lived here a long time or all our lives, some of us. And so having your perspective is so important. And so again, as I said to Saja, I'll say it to you too, Achilles, like, thank you so much for stepping up and thank you so much for engaging. We're all very grateful and I'm so glad that you made it tonight. So let's see. So our current work, I know that we haven't touched on this yet, but I think it was a reason maybe why both of you thought about running was, you know, what's happening with our high school and our tech center. Do either of you want to speak a little bit about that and how it was a motivation for you?
Yeah, I can say that our school was very inclusive while I was there, and there's a lot more students from different backgrounds, and I think that building a new school that supports all students is going to be really helpful moving forward, because Vermont is, in Burlington in general, is getting more colorful and more diverse. And I think that, like I said before, it's just really nice to have young voices who just recently graduated to give insight on what we think works for a new school and what doesn't work for a new school. And I think that is one big thing that led me to running and to become elected.
Awesome. And Saja, did you want to add to that at all?
I'll just definitely agree with what Kayla says, is, bringing new voices into the district and having more people involved, and people like us, students who experience the issues, who went to the school, who knows what's best for the school. And I definitely, especially with like having kids go and study in a mall, is not an ideal way of teaching, especially with spending a lot of money paying for the space, and having the students really not getting the experience they deserve.
Right, absolutely. It's been okay for a temporary fix, but a long-term fix, it just doesn't seem to, not what we're shooting for here, not what we're aiming for. So I put here, this question that I wanted to pose to both of you. What do you value most about the Burlington School District? And you've both kind of touched on it, but maybe just highlighting that again. What is it about the school district that, I always felt, Akilis, that I could sort of feel your enthusiasm and your love for the district. But yeah, can you talk a little bit about that? Well, we can start with Saja this time.
Yeah, definitely. So as I mentioned before, the community itself, everybody works here as a community. We went through hard times during the pandemic, and with switching the schools and having students go from being in a classroom to studying in a mall, and everybody stepped up and stayed together and tried to find alternative solutions to a problem without just giving up right away, and just everybody working as a community. It's just hard to find community who stays together during hard times. So definitely, like, seeing everybody working together brought me joy and just brought me hope that we're still a community.
Yeah, and I would just agree with that. I went to graduation on Friday, and it was a beautiful, joyous occasion. I mean, there was just so much joy, and it wasn't like, woe is me, it's been a hard couple of years. It was, we got through this together, awesome, and let's move forward. So yeah, that was awesome. So sorry, Akilis, what was your answer to that question?
I would say I just always had a love for Burlington. We're definitely the most diverse county and town within the state, and there's so much good that comes throughout the streets that we live on. And I also love working with children, and we're working for our children. And so my work moving forward is going to be in schools. So it made sense for me to just grab an insight on how schools run in the background, and it also will benefit me moving forward how to collaborate with community members and teachers when working for our students and working for the children of our town.
Awesome. Yeah. That's fantastic. I do want to remind folks that this is a call-in show. If you'd like to call in with a question, we are at 802-862-3966, 802-862-3966, and you could call and ask your question, and I'll make sure to pick up. But in the meantime, if we don't have any calls, what else do I have here? You've sort of answered this next question, which is what makes you especially well positioned to serve our district at this time. I think you highlighted the fact that you're graduates and that you are students from diverse backgrounds, from backgrounds that are actually seen in our school. A large part of our district are new Americans and people of color, and so you are representing, which is huge and so important. Is there anything you would want to add to that in terms of and I mean also your youth, the fact that you're young, newly graduated?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
So the next question is actually kind of a fun one. We're sort of on the cusp of summer here. Yeah. We're still in spring, but it feels like we're heading into summer. So what are some of your favorite things to do in Burlington during the summer months?
I love just spending time with my friends on the water. I'm on the water whenever I'm not working. I work at Waterworks in Winooski, so I love working, and it's a good spot. So I see everyone every night, and I just love being outdoors because Burlington summer is the best summer ever.
Agreed. Yeah. Satya, how about you?
Well, if I have free time,
Big if.
I take summer classes every summer, so I don't get time off from school. But I have a niece and nephew that I'm in love with, that I just hang out with all the time, babysit whenever I can. So most of my time babysitting them, taking them out and teaching them how to walk and eat and do things. Also spend time with family. I also volunteer, so that takes most of my time and work. And yeah, it's just the summer is beautiful. So
Right.
getting a book and hammocking.
Yeah.
I also have a new niece that I hang out with a lot. She's
yes.
2 years old, so we have a lot in common.
Congratulations. I'm going to be a great aunt.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
My niece is having a baby, so I'm excited. But let's see, around summer. So in terms of volunteering, obviously being on the school board is part of your volunteer work. I hope, yeah,
Yes.
you're counting that. Good, because it is a lot of work, and it's an important job. And as I said, we're so thankful that you both have stepped up to do this. I can't thank you enough. Do you two have any questions for me as we sort of start thinking about wrapping up? I got the 10-minute call a little while back, so we probably are down to a few minutes. But yeah, do you have any questions for me or anything that I haven't asked you that you'd like to talk about?
I guess, what's your favorite part of being on the school board?
What's my favorite part?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a great
Good question.
Because you're a veteran, you know.
Right. Yes, I'm a veteran. That's true. I love solving problems, honestly. Some people will say to you, oh, being on the school board, it just seems so thankless. And I'm like, I don't see it that way. I think it's really rewarding and fulfilling. And, you definitely can't always make everybody happy, but I love the input from the community, the input from the other board members, and then the sort of working together to try to solve a problem. I just find it really exciting and important, obviously.
Collaboration.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Collaboration is huge. So I would say that is my favorite part of being on the school board. But yeah, also getting to meet really great people is always a bonus. I do always like to remind folks as we get toward the end of our show that we have a great district website, www.bsdvt.org. And I recommend that folks go to the website and check in on updates. Everything from our new hires. We've done, as you know, a lot of hiring these past couple weeks. So you can check out bios from some of our new leaders in the district. You can check up on updates on the BHS BTC 2025 project, which will be a continual source of discussion and work moving forward. You can also read a little bit about some community engagement opportunities, celebrating SOAR, our summer learning program, which is going to be starting real soon. That's on the webpage. And also summer meals. So summer meals are available again this summer, and they will be distributed in different parts of the city. So I highly recommend that folks go to that webpage and get that information as soon as possible. Yeah, I think we are close to wrapping up. Again, I just want to say thank you both so much for being here. Thank you for being on the school board. We have a meeting tomorrow night, and we'll be meeting periodically throughout the summer. So hopefully you will both be able to make those meetings. And I guess I just want to say thank you, and I really appreciate you being here.
Of course.
Thank
you
you
for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you
Sorry
so
for being
much.
late.
No worries, no problem, Akilis. I know you're busy. You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
everybody, for watching.